I define memorization as simply having to read a word in Spanish or get input from something in Spanish and something that you don't know, pause, and then repeat. That's how I would define memorization. That's how, from what I've understood, most people that define memorization like that. I wouldn't say, to me, okay, there's a difference between growing up, you went to, I don't know, a theme park, and then your parents told you that's called a roller coaster, okay? And then another time you went to a theme park, and then your parents told you again that's a roller coaster. And then you went to a theme park again, and then the third time, your parents didn't need to tell you, you just knew that was a roller coaster. To me, that's not memorization. To me, memorization is you had a flashcard of the word roller coaster, you had a picture of it, and then you said, all right, that's a roller coaster. Put that away. That's a roller coaster. Put that away. That's a roller coaster. Put that away. To me, the latter is memorization. The first example is what I would consider internalization. And so when I say learn Spanish without memorizing, I'm saying use, don't read. I'm saying you use the thing that you want to learn it well. And preferably use it so much that you're good enough to be able to teach it to someone else. Because from what I've seen in the literature and also from what I've experienced myself, when you use it, you don't lose it. And when you read it, you 100% lose it. When you write it and read it, you almost always lose it. But when you use it using your brain, listening skills, mouth, to speak, then you retain much more of the information. And so when I say don't memorize, or when I say memorization is bad, what I'm really saying is don't read and write it. Because when people say memorization, that's what they think. Don't know? No. That's what most people think when they think memorization. They think flashcards. They think, repetition over and over again in a small window of time. What I'm proposing is, how about we do daily repetition of things that we want to learn, but in the context of real life scenarios. And that's how I learn vocabulary. I learned it through transcript training, which is basically watching content on a consistent basis and searching up every word that you don't know, basically, right? And to me, that worked for me, that worked for my clients, that worked for language lords who I saw, and basically everyone who got fluent, who I've seen, who've gotten fluent in an extraordinarily short period of time, have done that. And so it just makes sense to me. And so I think my definition of memorization reflects most people's, I think my definition of memorization reflects most people's understanding of memorization. And subsequently, that makes, in my opinion, my definition or my explanation of internalization very helpful for a lot of people. Hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully you find that helpful.